Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the fifth grade concept of balancing a budget. This is Standard 5.10F in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 11 of the 2023 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we have the Perez family, and they have a net income of, there's that $3,620. And then we've got their expenses. So here's the question. What is the greatest amount of money that they could put into savings and still have a balanced budget? So that's that key term right there, right? And if we're kind of unfamiliar with that, well, think of what we know in science, right? We literally have a scientific tool called a balance, right? And so we'll put some objects right over here, and then we'll put some type of units, typically like maybe gram stackers or something, right? And when we find that the two sides balance, right, that's the mass of that object. And so that is called a balance. And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for an amount here that could balance out this, you know, budget. And so in this case, right, let's replace this object that we put on the left, right? This is our income, okay? So we'll put that right there. Income, $3,620. And instead of the gram stackers, right, we are going to have our expenses. And so what we want it to be would be less than or equal to, less is fine, because it's fine spending less than you make, right? You want it to be less than or equal to that 3,620. What you don't want your expenses to be, right? That's how much you spend or expend on items like house payment, utilities, food, so on and so forth. You don't want it to be greater than, because now you're spending more than you make each month. So really what we need to think of is just it's a big strip diagram here, right? So here is our total, 3,620. And we've got all of these parts, right? So we've got the 1,150, 425, the 600, the 450, the 285, and then what's that missing piece? What is the greatest amount of money? Because, obviously you can put zero in savings, but what's the most you can put in without going over? So let's just add these up. All right, so I'm going to line them up, 1,150. When I'm writing that, I'm not going to write the comma. I'm just going to make sure I line everything up. Sometimes if we're a little bit sloppy, if you write a comma, it looks like a 1, and you end up adding it, and it messes up your problem. So I'll put the comma in at the end if I need to here. All right, so let's make sure we've lined everything up. We've added everything correctly here. All right, so 5 and 5 is 10. All right, so that's going to be, I'm looking at this point, so I'm looking for 10s, right? So 5 and 5 make 10. 2 and 8 make another 10, that's 20. And then that 1 left over is 21. Let's look for 10s. 6 and 4 make 10. Then I've got 11, 12, 13, 17, 19. All right, so that's 2,910 is what all of that is. So now all I need to do is take my total, right? 3,620, take away what all of this is. All right, so that's going to be 2,910, because if I use subtraction, I could figure out what is that missing amount. What's the greatest amount I can put in savings each month? And we see here, it's going to be, I need to regroup here. All right, so 710, and you look how close these are, right? But if I have 720, that's going to actually make my expenditures over my income each month, and that's not what I want. So 710 is going to be my answer, and so we will mark C, $710.